The Big Green Egg is usually shipped to your dealer in 2-box packaging. If you purchase your egg unassembled, here are the instructions to unpack it and do the assembly yourself. You should also refer to your Big Green Egg manual and included instructions. Your Big Green Egg has been securely packaged so that it will arrive safely at its destination. To unpack, first cut the plastic straps to the larger box. Open the box flaps. Remove the square protective cardboard spacer and the circular spacer. Then remove the plastic wrapping. Inside this large box will be the ceramic base, ceramic lid, fire box, and fire ring, as well as a smaller box containing the ceramic damper top and 3 ceramic shoes. Now, remove the small inner box and then carefully remove the ceramic lid, which is packed in the inverted position. Unpack the remaining ceramic parts from the ceramic base and remove any wrapping or tape. Do not remove the gray felt gasket from the rim of the base or lid. This gasket provides a seal. Finally, unpack the components from the smaller box, which contains the spring-assisted band, dual-function metal top, temperature gauge, cast iron fire grade, CD/DVD dual disc, porcelain cooking grid, and a manual with cookbook.
You are now ready to install the spring-assisted band. When handling the hinge mechanism, note that there are white plastic shipping retainer bars with a red tag attached. Do not remove the shipping retainer bars until the band has been securely attached to the egg, or personal injury could occur. The hinge is under spring pressure. Remove the bars only after hinge assembly is complete. If you are installing the optional egg mate side tables at this time, locate the 4 1/4 inch by 3/4 inch clinch studs that are packed with the egg mate and insert them into the holes shown on the lower band only. To hold the studs in place during assembly, hand tighten the supplied Keps nuts. Now position one of the identical bands and the hinge mechanism in relation to each other like this. Insert 4 1/4 inch by 5/8 inch clinch studs through the inside of the lower band and then through the hinge mechanism. Hand tighten the Keps nut onto each stud. Now place the hinge and lower band assembly onto the egg. Locate the center on the front of the band. This is the center point between the 4 holes opposite the hinge mechanism as shown here. Align this front center point of the band with the small hole found in the top rim of the egg's base directly above the vent door. While holding this alignment, insert a 5/16 inch by 2 inch carriage bolt through the square hole in the flange of the lower band. Then through the round hole in the opposite flange. Place a 5/16 inch flat washer and a 5/16 inch hex nut and hand tighten only. Now attach the upper band to the hinge mechanism the same way you attached the lower band. Use 4 1/4 inch by 5/8 inch clinch studs and hand tighten only. Next, attach the handle to the front center of the upper band. Use the 2 holes directly opposite the hinge mechanism. Insert a 1/4 inch by 1/2 inch clinch stud through each hole from the inside like this, and then through the handle assembly. Use a 1/4 inch acorn nut on each stud and hand tighten. Next, place the dome lid on the base and into the top band of the hinge. Rotate the dome so that the alignment hole or indentation indicating the front is centered with the handle. As earlier, insert a 5/16 inch by 2 inch carriage bolt through the square hole in the flange of the upper band, then through the round hole in the opposite flange. Place a 5/16 inch flat washer and a 5/16 hex nut and hand tighten only. Check to make sure the dome is seated evenly against the base of the egg and that the lower band is down as far as possible. Once you're sure that the bands and the dome lid line up properly, using a 1/2 inch wrench, begin tightening the flange bolts alternately until completely tight and the bolts are bending. Bending of the bolts and flanges is normal and expected. Make sure the dome is still evenly seated on the egg base. Then tighten all 8 Kep's nuts that attach the hinge mechanism to the bands. Then tighten the 2 acorn nuts on the handle assembly. At this time, you may remove the white plastic shipping retainer bars from the hinge mechanism. Simply cut the plastic cable ties that hold them in place, then pull or gently pry the plastic bar off the bolt head. If you have a medium or small egg, you will only have 1 plastic retainer bar. Do not open the dome lid before removing the retainer bars or you will damage the unit. You should keep the retainer bars in case you ever need to remove the spring-assisted band from the egg in the future. Now open the dome lid so you will be able to replace the inner components. Always make sure you raise the dome lid completely. Just lift the handle until the lid stays in place. Place the firebox back into the base of the Big Green Egg. Be sure that the opening in the bottom edge of the firebox faces the stainless steel draft door slot at the base of the unit. Then place the cast iron fire grate into the bottom of the firebox. Place the fire ring on top of the firebox. Be sure the rounded notches of the fire ring face upward. Place the cooking grid on top of the fire ring. Now install the external temperature gauge into the dome lid of the unit. Simply place the probe of the thermometer into the small hole provided in the dome and use the supplied clip to fasten the probe from the inside. Notice the gray felt gasket around the rim of the base and lid. Do not remove this gasket. It provides the seal when the dome lid is closed. Now grasp the handle of the lid and lower the lid. Place the dual function metal top over the chimney. You may also use the ceramic damper top. You have now successfully assembled your Big Green Egg.